All right. Hey, folks. Mike Gathers here. I'm not sure where to start. I have been wanting to get more public with video blogging or podcasting or something for a long while now. Many of you, or some of you, may remember what was some of you called my courage or vulnerability video. That was 2 years ago. Where I came out and said I was going to try to become more authentic living and express myself more and share some of my wisdom, and I never really followed up on that. But my intention is, I'm really feeling that need to express myself like this, so I'm going to give it a shot, see how it goes. And what occurred to me is to come out publicly about what I've been some health issues I've been wrestling with for the last couple years. Most specifically lately, I've been in treatment for Lyme disease. I was diagnosed in late October of last year after a 9-month struggle with staph infection. What happened is I'd had Lyme disease for a long time, it seems like, and it's just been dormant. And the staph infection has brought that to the surface. So now I'm dealing with what we call chronic Lyme disease. Lyme is a bacteria, a funky little bacteria, a nasty little bug that is spread by a tick. It seems to be more and more common. When I first got diagnosed, everybody that I ran into knew somebody that had Lyme disease. And when you've had it a long time, you typically get a bunch of co-infections that come along with it. So I've been testing positive for, in addition to Borrelia, which is Lyme, Babesia, which is a tick-borne parasite, Bartonella, also known as cat scratch disease, which is fairly common, I guess, but in a healthy person, you'll clear it in a couple weeks and go out about your business, but when you're compromised, it sticks with you. And that's the Borrelia, Babesia, Bartonella. That's kind of a common triple play with folks with chronic Lyme. Another one I had, Ehrlichia, was another bacteria that is come and gone. That's been treated so far. And there's also other viruses and like Epstein-Barr and fungi. Just everything hops on when your immune system is crapped out. And so that's what I'm dealing with. I'm in a clinic that treats Lyme. I go to them every 2 months. I get a treatment plan for the next 2 months. Usually changes from month 1 to month 2. And then I go back in and start all over again. They say it's a 1 to 2 year process. And I'm about 6 months in right now. And so that's where I'm at. So I think I've had Lyme. The indications from the DNA test on the Lyme is that it's been around for a long time. I remember a tick bite when I was a kid. Maybe that was it. But looking back, I've been tired my whole life. I never wanted to admit I had chronic fatigue. I had a therapist, mentor, supervisor a few years ago who was kind of pushing maybe low iron or chronic fatigue on me, and I didn't want to believe it. And now I'm kind of having to buy into it. I've been tired for as long as I can remember. I was tired in high school. I was known as the sleepy guy in college. Whenever I'm under a high stress, high pressure situation, I'm overcome with crippling fatigue. I push through because that's how I am, but it's a struggle. So I think I've had that going on for a long time, 20, 30 years maybe. And now what I'm experiencing in the treatment, there's a thing called the Herxheimer reaction, which is you're killing all these bugs, and when they die off, they overwhelm your immune system, and you can kind of get a toxicity overload. And I think that's called a Herxheimer reaction, or I'm herxing. Those are supposed to be fairly short term. I feel like I've been in one since something shifted for me in February 17th, as a matter of fact. And ever since then, really high fatigue, a lot of brain fog, not just my thinking, but like my vestibular system, my balance can get messy. Sometimes I stand up and I stagger a little like I'm drunk. Been playing a little bit of video games lately. I haven't played in several years, but I used to be pretty good at Halo. Is the game I enjoy. I'm playing Halo now for fun, and I'm terrible. I can't control it. I'm always playing online with other players, and I'm always the worst one in the game. It's really bad. I think that's the brain fog. And the big thing is that my lymphatic system, ever since February 17th, has been overwhelmed. I get chronic lymph pain. My lymph nodes are just angry. It varies as to where I feel the pain, but just depending on how I'm sitting or how I'm feeling or what I'm doing, various lymph nodes are usually growling at me. So if you meet me, odds are I'm tired, my brain's fogged, and I'm in pain. And that's just kind of my reality. Comes and goes depending on how well I'm taking care of myself and how much rest and stress I'm under. And sometimes I'm just completely overwhelmed, and the introvert in me wants to just be alone. A couple weeks ago, we were hanging with what I consider my extended family, some family friends. It was over Memorial Day, and I just was worn out and wanted to be alone, and I really wasn't having anything to do with them, and it's just me and where I'm at, and needing to be alone, but not really taking that time, or just kind of sometimes you just get tired and you just go where the waves push you. So the big thing I guess I want to say is that I'm learning a shitload about self-care, pardon my French, and conscious intentional living. I was working on the staff of a men's workshop, an intensive men's weekend, about a month ago or so, maybe 2 months now. And I told them I had Lyme, and I told them I considered it a gift. That was nonsense. It's not a gift. It really sucks. I do consider it a calling. And what I mean by that is that it's kind of a calling to get serious about some things in life. I've always kind of been a heady creature. I think culturally a lot of us live in our heads. Men tend to live in our heads. Engineers tend to live in our heads. But I think I've been a little extreme, and I'm not, like, physical existence sometimes is just, nuisance isn't the right word, but I'm not sure what the right word is. But, I just haven't been completely committed to embodiment and physical existence. What I eat, my sleep, exercise. I've always been a physically active guy, but really just from a self-care perspective, I've had to shift a lot of things. I've had to learn a lot of things about diet. I've had to really get serious about a lot of self-care things and a lot of health and wellness things that I've always been into for all of my life. I'm really having to take it all up a notch. So I'll talk about that a little bit more on the next video when I share kind of more of the story of how I got Lyme the last couple years of my health journey. But I'm kind of running out of gas, and I think I'm going to pause for now. It's not a cry for help. It's not a cry for pity. It is what it is. It is, good, I guess, for people to be aware that I'm not tired and grumpy because of you. I'm tired and grumpy because of me. And I think I'm going to sign off now, but I welcome any comments, questions, or feedback, and I hope to keep doing this. Bye-bye.